The Resilience Across Borders podcast is intended for education, support, and inspiration. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer any professional, medical, or health advice. If you are dealing with or suffering from any psychological or medical conditions, please seek help from a qualified health professional. Hello and welcome back to Resilience Across Borders podcast. I'm your host, Rachid Zahidi, and also the author of Gym Journal, that is an abbreviation for emotional gym, and a guide and workbook to get clear and stay focused on your priorities and institute better habits. In today's episode, we will talk about how to reinvent yourself after a major change. In other words, identity shifts and renewal. So life has a way of surprising us with major changes. It can be career transitions, relationships ending, relocation, loss, or a shift in health or priorities. These changes disrupt familiar patterns and often they shake our sense of identity. So then reinvention becomes not only a possibility but an invitation. When you approach it thoughtfully, rebuilding your identity can become one of life's most empowering experiences. So as we like to always do, here's some things to keep in mind, some principles for reinventing yourself after a major life change, along with, of course, practical ways to apply each one. So number one, acknowledge the end of the previous identity. Before new growth can happen, there is usually a letting go. A reinvention starts with recognizing that a previous version of your identity has completed its purpose. This does not mean the past was a mistake. It means its chapter is closed. It's time to open a new one. So for instance, a professional who leaves a stable career to pursue entrepreneurship might feel guilt or insecurity. Instead of resisting these emotions, they can write a brief closure letter to their old role and thank it for what it taught them. A simple exercise is to complete the sentence. The part of myself I am ready to retire is, blank, continue. And then you can add, it helped me by, letting gratitude close the chapter instead of regret, because each stage we went through, each chapter, each had something for us and gave us certain things and was what probably needed at that particular time. But so that's one way to close it properly and prepare yourself to open the next one. Number two, adopt a curiosity mindset rather than a success mindset. Almost similar to a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. So when reinventing yourself, expecting perfection too early creates pressure and fear. Curiosity allows experimentation and learning without judgment. Instead of trying to become someone instantly, you explore who you're becoming. So for instance, if someone is rebuilding after a breakup, they might experiment with different hobbies, rock climbing, painting, volunteering, without needing any of them to define them yet. Or they may try things that they were not able to do before while they were in that previous relationship. Or maybe that they give up because they were in that previous relationship. So choose one activity or experience each week that you are curious about. Treat it like testing prototypes of your future, not permanent identity decisions. This is just to try things and then see what sticks, see what you like and what you may incorporate into your new identity. Number three, build micro identities before a big identity. So we often think transformation has to be fast and dramatic, but real identity shifts unfold gradually. Start with small habits or roles that represent who you want to become. Someone transitioning from a sedentary lifestyle to an athletic identity shouldn't begin by training for a marathon. Their first step could simply be walking 15 minutes every morning, then maybe to jogging, then maybe to running, and so on. The habit must precede the identity. So, anyways, you can begin with changes that are noticeable, enjoyable, and easily repeatable. Small repetition shapes identity more reliably than big sporadic effort that you may not stick to, or you may overwhelm yourself and give up before you even start. So, number 4, surround yourself with people who reflect the future, not the past. Identity is socially reinforced. The people you spend the most time with influence how you see yourself. During major reinvention, it's important to spend time with people who support who you want to become, rather than remind you of who you were. For example, if someone wants to become more confident and entrepreneurial, attending local business meetups or joining a skill building community helps normalize the new identity. So you can ask yourself, who already lives a life that represents where I'm headed? Find ways to learn from them, connect with them, or simply observe their habits and mindset. Number 5, allow your values to lead, not your fears. Major change can be disorienting. When everything shifts, values become the compass. Instead of trying to rebuild your life based on expectations, judgment, or pressure, build it around what matters most to you now. An example in practice: after a burnout experience, someone may choose a career that prioritizes flexibility, impact, or creativity. Even if it pays less initially, this aligns life with values like health, purpose, or balance. So, how do you apply this? Choose 3 core values for this new phase. For example, growth, freedom, contribution, creativity, integrity, peace. Then use them as decision filters. Does this choice support my core values? Does this choice align with my core values? Number 6, give yourself permission to evolve more than once. Reinvention is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong ability. When you stop clinging to a fixed idea of who you must be, you become free to grow with life, not against it. So you can replace the sentence, "This is who I am," with "This is who I am becoming." Identity becomes a direction, not a fixed point. So again, an example in practice: someone who once identified heavily as a parent, a spouse, or a corporate leader may later embrace a creative role, community role, or a healing journey. Each version has value. So, in essence, or in summary, you are allowed to renew. Just remember that. Major change can feel like losing yourself, but often what you lose is only the version of you that has completed its mission. Reinvention is not about replacing yourself. It's about returning to yourself, updated, upgraded, and more aligned with who you're ready to be. The courage to reinvent is the courage to live fully. And with every step, you build a life that fits you now, not who you were yesterday. So as always, thank you for tuning into the Resilience Across Borders podcast. Please share the podcast, review it, pick up a copy of the Imogym Journal, support any way you can. That encourages us to continue to produce this content and great reminders for us all. The blog is at resilience.com, and remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others and stay resilient.